And welcome back to the show. Recent reports show the Delta variant, now the dominant COVID strain in the United States. It's highly transmissible and more resistant even to those who have not been vaccinated. Now, the new variant makes the weeks and months ahead the most critical time for children who are not eligible to be vaccinated. As schools prepare to reopen next month for full-time in-person learning, a group of Bronx public charter schools is urging the community to get vaccinated. Sharing more on this matter, we're joined by the Chief Executive Officer of Public Prep Network, Janelle Bradshaw. And Janelle, good to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to engage in this conversation.
Thank you. And share with us a little bit about just your thoughts right now. I mean, obviously, school is around the corner. We do see the numbers continuing to rise. How are things working out for you?
We are preparing every single day. I'm so grateful to our leaders and teachers who are getting ready to welcome our 2,000 scholars back on August 30th. So we'll be coming back to school really soon. And we made a couple of key decisions pretty early on that we're excited about now because we were ahead of the curve. So we mandated, for example, in April that all of our staff would be vaccinated, and we are happy to announce that 100% have complied with that. And so in the midst of the Delta variant, we know that vaccinations really saves lives. And so we are now pushing that message to our families who have children who are 12 and above, who are eligible, and also families who may themselves have not been vaccinated, just to make sure that our community is as safe as possible. Because as a pre-K through 8 charter school network, the majority of our students are not eligible for the vaccine. And so it was really important for us that we think about the multiple layers of protection that needs to be in place. And so very early on this summer, we made the determination that regardless of vaccination status, we were going to wear masks just to keep our children safe. And again, those decisions have come back to be well thought out as we're learning more and more about the Delta variant. So at our schools, all students and adults will be masked all day, including out in at recess time. While they're outside, we will also make sure that we are maintaining 3 feet of distance and regularly inserting hand washing and hand sanitizing. As we were doing last year, we were one of the few to be open last year. And so we can take those lessons learned and really enhance the protocols that we had in place. But we're really excited to be welcoming back all of our students 5 days a week come August 30th.
Well, given the fact that you were open before, obviously, it's, you got an early start. Talk to us about where you are right now with the Delta variant. Are you hearing a lot of hesitancy from parents, or are they a little bit more comfortable given the fact that you have been open before?
So our families are ready to come back, and they are very much trusting in the safety protocols that we've put in place. But I do have to say it takes all of us as a community to work together. And so trust alone is not enough. We all have to be hyper vigilant, and that is why we are leading the call around vaccines, but we are also going to be putting in testing protocols in our schools as well. And so in a couple of weeks, we'll be having some on-site testing clinics. Again, we're trying to do whatever it takes to demystify what COVID is so that families know their health status and can make important decisions, and we can mitigate spread. We did not have any COVID spread in our schools last year, even though we may have had a few positive cases, and that came because of surveillance testing. And so that's one of the pieces that's part of our arsenal. We are working collaboratively with the DOE, but we are also going above and beyond what has been expected of us, because again, we want to keep all of our community safe. And so for us, that looks like we will be testing our adults in our community, regardless of their vaccination status, because we are hearing about breakthrough cases and we want to be as safe as possible. And so all of our staff will be tested regularly, in addition to all of our children as well from pre-K through 8.
And I know another way that you're advancing the message is the Why I Got My Shot campaign. Give our viewers a little bit more about why I got my shot.
So we learned really early on that it was important to really motivate your hearts and minds, and having personal conversations with our communities and really explaining why I got my shot, or any of our teachers and staff members. And so everyone that we have asked has raised their hand emphatically to be part of this campaign, because we know that our community trusts us as a school and as educators. They trust us with their babies, and we don't take that responsibility lightly. And so for me, really sharing the story of making sure that my grandmother, who's 104 years old and has raised her entire family in Harlem, that we were safe for her, and who lives in Florida now. Like, we did not want to in any way endanger her or our community. Our community has been hard hit. And by community, I mean our families who were working mostly during the pandemic because they were the essential workers and first responders, but also my community at large, my friends and family who have not been able to get the vaccine because they've lost loved ones. And so I think when you're personally hit with the impact of COVID, your decisions around why it's important to keep the community safe and also get the shot is even more important. And so I'm happy to tell that story to anyone who will listen in our community.
Share with us a little bit about, where you are right now. Obviously, you're getting ready to prepare to get back to the school year, and everybody's excited about that. Talk to us about where you are, like, emotionally, given the fact that we've got this variant out there. How's it going for you?
I think we feel really anxious. It is a bit nerve-wracking to feel like we are somehow really back where we were a year ago. I think there was a moment in March and April where we all felt like we had made it to the light at the end of the tunnel, and we're getting used to freedoms such as no mask and socializing again with each other. And now, as we start the year, we are putting some of those protective measures in place. The one thing that I have been very clear with my staff and families around is that we are in a different place. We know more about COVID than we did before. There was definitely a lot of fear and anxiety when we opened our schools a year ago. And now we're really excited to welcome our scholars back. They've missed so much. And what we know is we cannot have another year. Our staff worked incredibly hard to deliver remote instruction and do things that were just pretty impossible for others to do. At the same time, having students in person every single day makes the difference. And so we're fighting hard to make sure that that happens. And so while we all have a little anxiety and fear as we look at the numbers, we also look at the numbers and see percentage-wise, there aren't that many cases. We're still talking about a small percentage of breakthrough cases, but it doesn't mean for us that we're going to stop what we're doing. We're just going to make sure we're even more vigilant to ensure that those layers of protection are available and that we're as prepared as possible to deal with something should it happen. That's the best way to be successful.
Excited about the next couple of weeks, kids coming back into the building?
Can't wait to see their faces. They really are the reason why we do this work. And I will say they are so excited to be back in their communities and back in their schools and back with their teachers. Wearing a mask is a small price to pay for that. And once they're eligible to be vaccinated, we'll be out there, out front, making sure that they also have access as well.
Janelle, thank you so much for being with us, and glad to have you here on Open.
Thank you.
All righty. Well, listen, now, if you want more information, we encourage you, visit the website at publicprep.org and then follow them on Facebook and Twitter at Public Prep. We encourage you, please don't go anywhere. We've got more show. Open continues coming up right after this.